Hi, it's Fabio Quartararo. Hope you give us a like and subscribe.
We finally reached the moment everyone's been waiting for. On the Jerez grid, there doesn't seem to be any problems, and they're all ready to go. A few seconds now, and the lights will go out.
In the Cito corner, he's got it done. That was beautiful. What a move that was then by Marquez. The crowd here, they're looking at the big screen of the main grandstand. They're going wild here. Miller trying to respond immediately with an attack on the brakes into turn 6. No way through. Marquez then on the podium here in Spain, and the fans love it. They're on the edge of their seats. They're on their feet. Marquez up to third.
Marquez was so good on the brakes there into turn 6. It looks as if Miller had got the move back done with the straight line speed of that Ducati, but Marquez able to get through. Aleix Espargaro knows now he needs to attack immediately, try and get quickly past the number 43 Ducati of Jack Miller. If he wants eyes on the podium, he needs to follow Marquez quickly.
This was a lovely move. Look at this. The element of surprise in many respects from Marquez. There's not a lot of room there. Miller on a slightly wider line, and up the inside. It was clean. It was clinical. It was Marquez back to his best in many respects. Then he moves up into third place. Here comes Aleix Espargaro. As Lewis said, he has to find a way through on Miller. He squeezes the Aussie out. Marquez is wide, and in the blink of an eye, Aleix Espargaro on the factory in Aprilia is now up in the third place. Marquez with all that hard work through again. Miller attacks him on the brakes into the first corner, and he gets it done. And of course, all this scrapping, all this battling out of nowhere, Juan Mir comes into contention for the podium.
This trio were in the 139s that lap, a 139.6 for Jack Miller as he was busy trying to fend off Aleix Espargaro and Marquez. Juan Mir was a full 1.1 seconds quicker than the Ducati man ahead.
Now then, Aleix Espargaro was supremely confident in his end of race pace. Has he timed this to absolute perfection? Already, he sweeps through turn number 5 and there's daylight between himself and Miller and Marquez. He might have just been playing the patient waiting game now, Aleix Espargaro, picking his opportunity. Marquez got it hot in that final corner. Aleix Espargaro got up the inside of Jack Miller into turn 13 with Marquez wide. He said, thank you very much, I'll take P3. And of course, we're another pony for Aprilia.
So Aleix Espargaro is busy thinking about Jack Miller here, and you can see Marquez just getting in a little hot. He loses the front, saves it on his knee.
Oh, that was a proper old style Marquez save, wasn't it? That was the reason why Marquez was wide. We have not seen that very often. He's not had the confidence and the feeling in that Repsol on the front end to make those kind of astonishing saves. That was brilliant stuff by Marquez. That was so close to disaster. Back at the front, and he's still very much game on. The gap through the third sector on this lap 22 between Bagnaia and Quartararo, it got squeezed back down to just over half a second. Is there more late fireworks coming here from Quartararo?
Yeah, half a second. Quartararo for the second lap in a row was faster than Bagnaia. It's just about enough at the moment from Bagnaia. He's still lapping in the mid-38. The leaders were actually, for the first time, not the fastest riders on track. Aleix Espargaro was the quickest man on track last time around, up into third place, a 138.3 for him.
Yeah, and you can see how hard Aleix Espargaro is pushing here, trying to make a decisive breakaway from Miller and Marquez. He had that front tyre, that hard Michelin front tyre moving around underneath him as he tipped into that first corner. Thankfully for Aprilia and thankfully for Aleix Espargaro, it hung in there, it gripped, and he is now starting to pull away from Miller and Marquez. Aleix Espargaro is already half a second now clear of the Australian, halfway round lap 23.
Juan Mir is firmly in this battle. You can see him just on the back of Marquez, who's, I think, fed up of staring at the back of Jack Miller's Ducati, isn't he? He's been staring at it for the entire Grand Prix. They're aiming at a podium. They're now battling for 4th and 5th. Juan Mir just behind them, as you can see, in 6th. The lead between Bagnaia and Quartararo still hovering around the half-second mark, which has got 2.5 laps to go. If Quartararo had anything else up his sleeve, we think we'd have seen it by now. So is Bagnaia just about doing enough to keep the reigning world champion at bay? Just 2 and a bit laps to go.
Yeah, Marquez then trying to regroup after that big front end washout at turn 13, which cost him third place. He's done so much hard work to get that third spot. Now then, here we are back at the front. Fabio Quartararo, you can see there visibly, this is as close as he's been to Pecco Bagnaia for the majority of this Grand Prix. It looks like Aleix Espargaro's got third place covered at the moment. Bagnaia and Quartararo over the line, the gap was down to just over 0.4 of a second. We'll track Aleix Espargaro as well to see what his advantage is over Miller. He's increasing to 0.8 of a second. At this stage in the race, as we suspected, Jack Miller and Marc Marquez do not have the speed of Aleix Espargaro. The Aprilia man was half a second quicker than Marquez, 0.4 quicker than Miller.
So what's Fabio Quartararo got up his sleeve? We're on the penultimate lap then of this Grand Prix. He needs to try and get himself within closing distance at the end of this penultimate lap. Where will be the places Quartararo can make a move? Turn 1 is a potential opportunity, turn 6 is another, and then the final, turn 13, the Jorge Lorenzo corner as the rear comes out for Pecco Bagnaia. He's giving it absolutely everything to keep the world champion at bay.
Sideways, wasn't he there, Pecco Bagnaia? He's throwing everything on the line here, as you knew he would do. He has to keep Fabio Quartararo at bay. Jorge Martin has got a long lap penalty to add to his miserable day here in his home Grand Prix in Spain. We come into the stadium section then for the penultimate lap here, the Red Bull Grand Prix of Spain, the Red Bull Grand Prix, and these two are locking horns here. Quartararo's quick through turn 10, isn't he, to the Pelican corner. You'd think he'd have the advantage in this sector 3 with the agility and the corner speed of that factory Yamaha. Here we go then, Bagnaia getting the message, team communication, 0.4 seconds the advantage. We've got one lap and one corner remaining here in Jerez. It will be Pecco Bagnaia that leads onto this decisive final lap.
With this margin, you feel like it's going to take a mistake for Pecco Bagnaia. 1 lap to go, it's just under half a second. It will take some effort from Fabio Quartararo to pull that back from this margin. If Bagnaia can keep it wheel perfect, he might just have enough here.
A 1:38.1 on a 24-lap old Michelin rear tyre. Stunning pace by Pecco Bagnaia. And Aleix Espargaro looks like he is well set for another podium. He is going to look like he's going to convert a third front row start into a third podium finish this year. Over the line, he was nearly 1.4 seconds clear of Jack Miller as Aleix Espargaro then looks to take his third Rosson of the season. Fabio Quartararo is running out of time here in Jerez. Is he going to be close enough to get close to the Ducati ahead of him? Bagnaia again sideways on that factory Duke into turn number 6. Quartararo looks like he's slightly got the better corner speed in that Dani Pedrosa corner. Now into sector 2. The gap's still 0.4 of a second.
Marquez hasn't given up on pole position yet, has he? He's swarming all over the back of Jack Miller. Both factory Ducatis under fire in this final half a lap.
So it's Miller trying to hang on to a hard-fought 4th place. Here he comes, Marquez up the inside into turn, and you can hear the roar of the crowd. They love it, they watch it on the big screens. Aleix Espargaro then looks like he's on course for a famous home Grand Prix podium here. But here is the battle for the race win. I think Fabio Quartararo will not be close enough. This has been impeccable by Pecco Bagnaia. He comes into the final corner. He's going to get this job done. Quartararo's leaving it too late. It has been brilliant. Bagnaia, he reigns in Spain. The Ducati man wins the Red Bull Grand Prix of Spain in 2022. What a race by Pecco Bagnaia. It was picture perfect from Pecco. He takes it by just under 3 tenths from Fabio Quartararo. And Aleix Espargaro does take a stunning podium. His third of the season for the factory Aprilia team. They lose their concessions, of course. Marquez, what a job he did to take 4th place on that last lap from Miller. Miller drops to 5th after he was in 3rd for so long in that Grand Prix. Mir takes 6th, Nakagami 7th, Bastianini 8th, Bezzecchi 9th. Top job by the rookie there on the 72 bike. But what a ride by this man, Pecco Bagnaia. Fabio Quartararo was stunning last weekend in Portimao. He has not taken the win the Spanish Grand Prix because Pecco Bagnaia on the factory Ducati on pole position yesterday with a new all-time lap record, obliterated the lap record, and he has led from start to finish, resisting incredible pressure from the world champion Fabio Quartararo, who crucially does extend his lead in the world championship. Aleix Espargaro now will be our man second in the standings. What a job though by Ducati. They win for the 2nd year in a row here in Jerez. First pole position since 2006, and that man was...
Let's take a look at the final classification of the MotoGP race.